Hey everyone, today's video is about a whale who only sings at night and the absolutely ridiculous cosmic conversation that follows. Picture this, you a 40-ton acoustic introvert with a baritone deeper than your ex's emotional issues, drifting alone beneath 10,000 feet of dark salt water. You've got no group chat, no social calendar, and definitely no Spotify Premium, just vibes and silence. Thick, wet, eternal silence. So before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you really like what I do here. Drop your location and local time in the comments. I wanna know where and when you retuning in from. Now turn off the lights, maybe turn on the fan for some soothing noise, and let's watch today's video. You've tried singing during the day? Once, never again. Some bored dolphin pod mistook your majestic verse for a mating call and showed up with seaweed wigs and backup vocals. It's embarrassing. So now you wait. You rise only when the ocean drinks the last drop of sunlight. When even the bioluminescent jellyfish start ghosting each other, that's when your voice uncoils. Long, haunting notes ripple through the water like slow-motion lightning. You're not calling anyone in particular. You're just ... letting go. Letting the deep know you still exist. One night, after a particularly melodic verse that would have made Pavarotti sob in his sleep, you notice something weird. The water vibrates differently, not with song, but with reply. Faint, tinny, mechanical, like a robot kazoo having an existential crisis. You tilt your head and you hear it again. A ping, then another. And then a full string of distorted beeps like someone trying to Morse code their way out of a rave. Unbeknownst to you, the U.S. Navy's Glomar Explorer, deep-sea mining ship turned Cold War relic, has just picked up your song and flagged it as unusual subaqueous acoustic phenomenon. It's translation. They think you're either a Soviet whale drone or an Atlantean fax machine. Within hours, some intern with a questionable mustache has a top-secret folder on you. You're trending in a government bunker, friend. But you just roll over and hum another verse. Somewhere, in the blackness above, a satellite tilts. You're vibing, fully committed to the nocturnal groove. But now, the ocean isn't just your audience, it's your stage. And apparently the Cold War is your accidental co-star. Because the next night, just as you belt out a low C that could crack the mood lighting on a cruise ship, everything goes sideways. Literally. The seafloor rumbles like it just remembered it had feelings, and a forgotten relic from 1945 twitches to life. Somewhere off the coast of Kamchatka, an ancient Soviet torpedo station rusted shut, sealed in bureaucratic incompetence, and packed with vodka-scented ghost, receives the echo of your song through a forgotten underwater cable. For reasons science cannot explain. The frequency matches a failsafe protocol coded by an intern who once tried to win Stalina's approval with musical encryption. Yep, your sad boy ballad triggers the unsealing of a hatch that hasn't T-budged, since Stalin's mustache was still relevant. Inside, a room full of pickled frogs? No, seriously, in jars. For amphibious warfare experiments that never got funding. And next to that, a wax cylinder marked Leningrad Disco Project, 001. Your notes, warped through 50 years of Soviet steel, align perfectly with the melody encoded on the disc. The system assumes it's a reunion party. Sirens wail. Wow. Somewhere, a Soviet-sounding voice yells, "Prepare the dance lasers." Meanwhile, you're just spinning in a slow barrel roll like, that felt ... jazzy. Of course, this doesn't go unnoticed. Marine biologists tuning into the frequency suddenly hear a mashup of whale calls and what sounds suspiciously like ABBA having a panic attack. They assume a new species of deep-sea whale disco hybrid has evolved, and they name you Balanoptera boogie woogie. Congratulations. You've gone viral across to Cold War intelligence networks and a Reddit thread called, "Did a whale just drop the bass?" Amid all this chaos, you start noticing something new in your sonic solitude. The stars, those sharp little holes in the ceiling of the sea, don't just sparkle anymore. They pulse, like they're breathing with you, matching your rhythm. Blinking in Morse code you've never learned but somehow understand, your voice is no longer alone. Something up there is blinking back. The next night, you don't even bother diving deep. You hover closer to the surface where the sea is thin and the stars hang low like eavesdropping lanterns. You're not just singing anymore, you're listening. Every note you hum is met with that soft cosmic flicker. Faster when your melody rises, slower when you croon those melancholic tones that could depress a stingray. Whatever's up there, it's vibing with you. Meanwhile, chaos continues topside. A billionaire tech mogul with the emotional range of a pepper grinder hears about the disco whale starfire phenomenon and decides you are the missing link in his plan to livestream interspecies EDM from space. He sends a drone submarine named WUB-1 into your waters, decked out in laser strobes, a fog machine, and an AI DJ with zero taste. It drops in blasting remixes of whale calls layered over the sound of dial-up internet. You scream, not in fear, just auditory offense. The deep sea is sacred, bro. No auto-tune. But WB1's antics accidentally draw attention from something else, something older. The Mariana Trench shifts slightly, and a swarm of Dumbo octopuses rise like squishy prophets, spinning in formation as if summoned by your rage ballad. It's a cephalopod rave, and somehow, you're the reluctant headliner. Your midnight tunes now control tides, stir trenches, and make barnacles shimmy like it's prom night. You keep singing because you have to. It's all you've ever known. But it's different now. Every night brings more, stranger echoes. It's flickers in the sky that align with ancient constellations nobody's named yet. In one odd moment where the International Space Station blinked its lights in rhythm with your verse, it wasn't a coincidence. Ink. One astronaut waved. You waved back with a tail slap that accidentally knocked WUB-1 offline. And then, just once, the star stopped blinking. Total silence. No rhythm. No signal. Just stillness. You hum a single note, soft, questioning. Then, a beam of light breaks the surface, like the sky itself exhaled. And in that moment, you don't hear stars, you understand them. You don't get words. You get feelings. You've sung through silence, through madness, through disco. They call you by name, not the one humans gave you, but the real one. The one that sounds like oceans folding in on themselves. So now, as you drift beneath the surface, the stars above still listening and the trench below still swaying, you let out one final note. Not an end, just a soft period at the end of a run-on sentence. The universe has been writing since plankton learned to dance. The water feels warmer, the dark feels kinder. Maybe tomorrow you'll sing again, or maybe not. Tonight was enough. And if anyone ever asks whether the stars whisper back well, you'll just smile that wide whale grin and roll into the deep. End of script. Thanks for following along.